let's discuss the album Oiran by Nemophila. Hi, welcome to Garage Geek, and originally this series was called Out of My Comfort Zone, but I'm going to label my part of this challenge Down a Dark Path. Now, before This Is Music challenged me with listening to Unseen World by Band-Maid, and that, when I heard it, I hadn't heard some of the other darker bands like At the Gates, and so for me at that time, Unseen World was pretty heavy. I am going to be comparing the group Nemophila to Band-Aid later. They're both Japanese bands. They were both recommended by This Is Music, and they're both all-female bands. So they have a lot in common. Nemophila was formed in 2019 in Tokyo. This album is a group of singles that were put together as an EP, and it's called Oiran, which I looked up, and that means a type of courtesan. Well, there are 8 songs on this EP, but one of them, the very last one, is actually an English version of the 6th song. On the first track, you're going to hear the screaming, growling voice. But this voice doesn't appear on all the tracks. The second song has an interesting Euro synthetic beat. I'm not exactly sure what that's called, but that zzz, 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 zzz kind of thing, which to me is strange to have on a very heavy thrash metal album. In the sky. This album isn't all heavy. There's many elements of J-pop on this. For example, the 7th song has a very bouncy beat, even though it's heavy. The 6th song has a very heavy beat, but there's a lot that hooks you in. And it also has that growling voice. Now, the 8th song is the English version, but I don't know why they bothered, because I speak English, obviously, and I can't understand a single thing they're saying. So this album is really a lot of fun. I can understand why This Is Music likes it, because he's getting into a lot of the heavier Japanese bands, especially the female ones. He's actually stated that in his videos. I'm not making assumptions about him. And he gave me this because I would assume that he wants me to hear more examples of them like Band-Maid. And so that brings me to a part of the video where I want to kind of compare them. Now, from what I've gathered, Band-Maid started out much more J-pop, and then they moved through different styles, and then that Unseen World was their challenge to themselves to go as heavy as possible. And they succeeded, I believe. Now, this album, Oiran, has elements of those very heavy sounds. But Oiran has that growling voice, whereas Band-Maid doesn't. So whereas Band-Maid, the playing and the instrumentation can be super heavy. Like there's one song where, to me, I remember it being an experiment in speed. Band-Maid outdoes Nemophila in many ways, but that growling voice gives them an advantage. There's something about that growling voice that is just like, okay, that's heavy. I'm going to end this video by saying that I really enjoyed listening to this. It's a fun listen. I really enjoyed hearing the lead singer of Nemophila just like that. That's a lot of fun, actually. And so whenever that happens on this album, it really enhances the song for me. So far, I've only been exposed to the male growler voice. I'm not sure if there was one on Oiran. I don't think there was. So to hear the female growler voice to me was very interesting, and I think that's why my ears kind of perked up to that. Band-Maid fans out there, if you've heard both Band-Maid and Nemophila, please put your comments. How do you feel about both bands? Please give me your honest opinion of Nemophila. So again, I want to thank This Is Music for giving me this challenge. And again, I look forward to hearing his response. This is another group that I can, another heavy group that I can add to my repertoire. And whereas something like At the Gates is just heavy from beginning to end, this one has its light, bouncy moments, and then it gets heavy. And it's just overall, it's because of the variety, it's really fun to listen to. Whereas Band-Maid's Unseen World was also pretty much heavy from beginning to end. I remember when I was reviewing that album, I really had to search for things that I could grab onto in order for me to have an in, which helped me enjoy the album more. So with this one, because they had their light poppy moments, it was more accessible to me. So again, I want to thank This Is Music. Don't forget to watch his companion video, which I will link in my description. And again, I want to thank you for the support.